everybody, cheers for returning. So in this part, well the second part, we're going to go over interior, the PE parts, the wheels, tyres, basically everything, getting it ready for final assembly. 2K still sort of setting at the moment, so that's been still left to one side, but I've cracked on with the interior, as you can see. So I decided to go for a sort of two-tone black for the interior with red textured seats, and the gold roll cage. So main colour of the interior is a jet black from Firescale. Don't know if it's the Rail 9005 jet black. It's a bit of a sort of leathery colour black. Went down really well, looks quite nice. So I've sort of done the top of the dash in that, put the dials in already. Done what I did last time, dropped sort of like act as a lens to it. So dash top's done in that, the door cards I've done in the jet black. Yeah, the lower part of the dash, so the sort of console area and center console, that was done in flat nato black, just so it gives it a slight different color and contrast. And like the handbrake was done in the jet black, so you sort of got the contrast between the two. Yeah, the lower part of the dash, that was done in the flat nato black as well, and had a nice sort of carbon decal that run across it. So I used that. Use one of the holographic GL4 badges, just to add a little pop of colour inside. Kit decals went down really well. What I did end up doing, you can see, is where the push to start, block that out in silver, drops a little bit of red clear on top, and also down the bottom here where the hazard switch is, that was black. Put the decal down, just put a bit of clear red over that as well, just to sort of pop it a little bit. Yeah, decals went down well. I'm not putting any clear coat over them, I'm just going to leave them as laid. The inserts for the door cards, they were done in the nato black as well, just a little bit of colour difference. Picked out the door handles with the AK markers, and that also a bit of carbon, and the AK markers just sort of pick the buttons out, so they'll come off, get put onto them. I have got some PE mesh to go for the speakers, so they need fitting still. The other little bit, sort of like the center console, that was done in the nato, and then I did semi-gloss black for the sort of like the instrument panel or the little computer on the front. So yeah, we've got a contrast, sort of 2 or 3 different blacks in there. Gear stick, I wasn't 100% sure what route I was going down to start off with. I did fit the other gear stick, so yeah, I did fit a sort of like the standard road car gear stick, painted all that up. I didn't like the look of it, so I ended up fitting the metal turned one that was in the kit. And when that sits in there, it gives a nicer sort of street racer style. So that went in. I have cut the bottom of it, it was a lot longer. I'll pop some pictures down to sort of where I've drilled it out and cut it down. But that goes in, that sort of fits in quite nicely, and I think it gives it the nice look. Steering wheel wise, ended up going with the PE steering wheel, so fitted all that. It's just sort of bog standard. There's the PE parts, went with rubber black for the wheel, so yeah, that will get fitted in place. That one was nice and easy. I'll come back to them in a minute. Interior wise, so that was jet black ended up fitting the sort of tread plate PE mats that are included in the kit. Back seat was just painted in the black as well, and then so that's the contrast against the roll cage. Well, it looks quite nice. And then the main part of the colour are the seats, the main seats. So I went with a sort of racing style. They were painted in the last one, carbon went down, had a 2K gloss, left that to dry. They were dry because I didn't go too heavy with that. Masked the carbon off, painted the seats red, and then used firescale red texture on the seats, and that went down really well. I do like their texture paint. It's a sort of go-to for the interiors for me. And then end up putting a couple of little Recaro decals on, so it just add a little bit of visual effects. So 2 seats, they should pop quite well against the body colour internally. But to fit them, it was a couple of PE sort of seat mounts, so they've been bent up. There'll be a picture of it. I used the little display PE bender. So yeah, they've been made. They'll get glued to the bottom of the seats and then located in sort of quick mock-up. See something like that. And I have also, I'm trying to add a bit more detail to the builds as I go. So I've ended up doing a 4-point harness in the end instead of the 6. But ended up using the black seat belt from the kit. I did have to use a little bit more I had left over from other kits. I wasn't sure on the lengths of them, but yeah, I used the black seat belts, PE parts, decals went down, and then a bit of micro sole on top, and sort of melted them in. So yeah, they look nice bit of detail. So there'll be a picture of it sort of mocked up. So yeah, we've got two of those seat belts. So yeah, so far interior wise, that is everything everything done. So that's now ready for assembly, bar a couple of PE parts which just need painting and fitting. So what I'll do next up will probably be wheels, tyres and other PE parts. So we'll jump over to that. I'll put a couple of pictures of the progress in between, and I'll speak to you all in a second. Alright, so we're back with the exterior work now done. So the 2K had about a week and a half to set. Then it was masked off, as you see in the pictures before. So the body was all masked off, and the black trim around the doors, around the windscreen, and around the back was all done. Trims were done in primer. I think it was firescale primer, and then the black was just done in black gloss, just give it a slightly sort of different look. But yeah, everything else is done, painted in the wheel wells. Body has had a polish. It did have a massive dust spot sort of around here. You ended up using the God Hand sponges and the firescale polishes, sort of take it back. The roof just needs one more sort of going over before final assembly. But yeah, it's come out okay. I love the colour, love the contrast between the carbon and the black and the gold itself. So yeah, really happy with how this one looks. Yeah, so that's the body done now. So that's ready for the final PE parts, which I've just sprayed up with rubber black, just to give a slight sort of contrast. So the grills to go in there, a couple of little PE bits on the back, wheels, so they're done now. So we went with The gunmetal for the insert on the wheel. The wheel nuts or the lug nuts, they were done in a silver, then Tamiya clear yellow over the top. That's all had a coat of the aqua gloss. Again, little tyre valves. Managed to get all 4 of them on the wheels, and I painted them black as well. Alright, we're back there, just so they pop a little bit against the chrome, the pre-chromed outers. Tyres, the kit decals went down okay. I always struggle doing the tyre decals. I can't seem to get them to sort of set properly. But these have gone down. Give them a coat of aqua gloss matte. That's dried, and then hopefully that should sort of hold them in place. But yeah, that's the wheel done. Brake calipers, so it was the PE calipers painted in steel. Given a coat of Tamiya panel liner, and then the calipers, obviously their body colour with the GR logo and a 2K finish. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. I think they work well together. So yeah, that's all four of them done. So I was quite lucky. All four wheels ended up with all 4 tyre valves again. So yeah, I'm not doing too bad with that. And then the rest of the body, so all the PE parts that need to go on are there. They're sprayed up rubber black. There's a few more sort of other PE badges and decals to go on the body, which we'll do in a minute. Rear diffuser, so that was carboned on the edges, and then around the exhaust tips, and then I masked it off and give it another coat of primer just to sort of take it back. Rear wing, a little bit dusty in places. I'm going to try and polish that out a little bit, so that still needs doing. The end plate's done. Wing mirrors, so body colour, and then taped off and sprayed primer black just to sort of give it a bit of a different look. So they're all done. Front splitter, so that's all carbon, 2K. And I've ended up fitting the end plates as well, so they've just glued on nicely. That'll all go on quite well. So just offering up, sort of sits quite nicely on the front. Little number plates, so that the carbon, and then the holographic name badge. That's had a 2K sort of coat as well, just to protect them and give them a little bit more of a pop. So that's the rear one. And then on the front, I had a quick mock-up of this. So it's the primer black for the main bulk of it. Put the Yaris number plate on. The intercooler or the radiator in the front, that was done in aluminium, I think, and then a couple of PE plates, and then it's got the little tow hook fitted as well. So yeah, quite happy with how that's come out. That looks quite nice, so that'll fit in quite well. So yeah, work wise, a couple of decals on the lights to do, and then fit the PE, and then I'll be back with everything ready for final assembly. So I'll speak to you all in a second. Right, so we're back. Everything's now fully assembled, PE's all fitted, everything's glued down. I'll just go over quickly the last sort of few bits. So PE wise, there were 4 little mesh grills. They were painted rubber black, glued into place. On the front end, so that's now fully assembled, just to sort of drop straight in. Headlights, they had a couple of decals on them. I've kept them the kit chrome because I do like PZY chrome. It does look very nice. Headlight lenses, they were hit with AK rubber black markers. Just need to top that one again. The wheels are all assembled, decals down. It's had a bit of a matte clear coat over the top just to take the shine off the decals. Let's see if it's zooming. Yeah, so yeah, it just take the shine off the decals. Yeah, no, I think the colours work well, and the little tyre valves, they were drilled in and fitted, and I've painted them black just so you can sort of see them a little bit better against the chrome barrels. Fortunately, kit comes with PE wipers. It's not the best job, but 2 PE wipers have been made. Yeah, body itself, so PE parts are fitted, sort of side grills, 2 little ones in the front. Done the rest of the decals. Have picked out all the little bolt heads with either a silver or a gunmetal. I do need to go back over and where I've sort of repolished the car. Back end, unfortunately, I did have a few problems. One of the lenses turned up in 2 pieces. It's glued together okay, but when I put the kit decals down for the red, didn't quite like the look of it, so I've sort of gone over and painted them clear red just so they sort of stand out and try and cover a few mistakes that I've made. The lenses also didn't fit perfectly. They were slightly warped, so I had to sort of glue this section, and then once that dried, pin this section. It wasn't quite holding, and unfortunately it's ripped some of the paint. Patched it up. Doesn't look great from a distance, it looks fine, and so as you get closer on pictures on the camera you can see where the gloss black sort of bled back in, but it is what it is. Yeah, we all make mistakes. I'll show the issues I've made. So if you do build this, just be careful, take a little bit extra time doing the rear lights. Rear spoiler, so you saw, it's all carbon that's been polished up. Fortunately, it's got 1 or 2 little glue marks where I've glued it together, but I have made it so it is fully detachable, and it does sit back sort of where it's meant to sit back, so that'll make it a little bit easier if I do go to any shows or competitions with it. I can transport a little bit safer. But yeah, that's the body all done. Just needs another quick polish over because it's got me grubby fingerprints on. Interior wise, the last bit, so that's now all sort of fully assembled. Just need to put dash bits in. The seats, I'll pop a picture in. I wasn't overly happy with the height of the seats. I thought they sat too low in the car, so I ended up cutting a 6mm block off the bottom of the sort of the OG seats, just to raise these up. Looks better when it's all sort of fully assembled, and you won't see the boosters. I know they look a little bit slapdash, but you won't see them when it's all put together. But yeah, the overall look, I like the red texture, it works well. Seat belts, as much as I don't like doing seat belts with a PE, they do, to me, I think they look nice. Gives a nice bit of detail. They're all glued up, connected to the roll cage. So yeah, happy with how it's come out. So next part will be the finished build, look over as it's done, and I will speak to you all then. So thank you very much for following this one, and I'll speak to you all soon.